So, hi, welcome back to the Simon Finkelstein Hour, and we're here with Timmy Biggins, the new debut actor as Jay Gatsby from the new film Great Gatsby coming out June 16th. So, Jay, or should I say Timmy, so how do you feel you compare with the character Gatsby? What landed you the part?
Gatsby. Dude, Gatsby. He's like the all-American. Okay, he starts out as nothing, and he meets this guy on the yacht, and he gets him everything, dude. He teaches him how to live like a rich man, and then he joins the army. It's awesome.
How do you connect with Mr. Gatsby? Are you kind of that secret?
Well, see, I'm good
pioneer of the
I'm good at the ladies. Ladies, they like me. They like Gatsby.
I can see why.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome anytime.
You see, Gatsby, he's this real well-dressed guy. He's just, and he even though he has nothing, he convinces her that he has everything. Daisy, yeah, she's a pretty girl, but she falls for him, but he has nothing. He goes to the army and leaves her, and then he comes back, and everything is just for her. And I'm like that. If I fall for a girl, I'm all about her. So go for it.
So the director, how did he connect this story with the film? I mean, have you read the book? Can you read?
Of course, The Great Gatsby is one of my favorites.
Okay.
Far.
So when you read the book, did you feel the film really follows it well, or I mean, do you think the book's better than the movie, or?
Well, the book can be better than the movie because I'm in the movie, and that's just awesome. And so the book, yeah, the director, he did a good job. It relates really well with all the characters coming together to mesh into a big, juicy stew of the Great Gatsby.
Juicy stew. I like some of that. We see alcohol playing a large part in The Great Gatsby. I mean, it seems there's a lot of alcoholics, there's a lot of parties. How do you feel that alcohol plays a part? Just what is its significance? Because we all know that Fitzgerald was quite a boozer. I mean, he wouldn't say no to the sauce. So, what's your input?
Well, in The Great Gatsby, when they're all drinking at my parties, it's like they're taking part in all the flaws of society. Society has this just mainstream that everybody just falls into with the alcohol, and they all get caught up in it and lose sight of what they're actually after. And me, I don't drink in that because I have this focus. I'm focused on getting to Daisy. That's my aspirations. It's where I'm going with life. I can't get caught up in that.
Well, thank you, Timmy Biggins. We'll be talking to your co-star, Jimmy Smith, who plays Nick Carraway, who is his co-star. He is just everything I could want. I'm sorry. But, so we'll be back with Nick Carraway and Jimmy Smith. So please stay tuned. We'll be back after this. Back with Jimmy Smith, the star from The Great Gatsby. And first things first. I'm sorry. Okay. I just had to touch it. Well, okay. Jimmy Smith here is Nick Carraway on the new hit Great Gatsby. Can you tell me how you connect with Nick, who actually is the backbone of this movie, because he's actually the narrator? I mean, he is the person who's telling the story. How are you like that character?
I think Nick is the lens through which you see the entire book. He's the lens through which you see Gatsby and Jordan and Daisy and Tom. He's the moral compass of the book. Whatever he says is wrong, and whatever he says is right. He's almost like God. He's got this godlike power, and he's kind of like every man. He's the reader. He really is the reader. Because the reader is supposed to sympathize through him, but Nick has no real personality. He's just a sympathetic character looking at Gatsby, who is sort of Fitzgerald in his heyday.
So do you feel you connect with this godlike character? What I want to know is behind those curtains, when you were trying out for this part, did you feel that you were the person that was going to just bring this movie through?
Yes, absolutely.
That's just such a great characteristic. I feel such a big contrast between you and Timmy Biggins, because his character is more of a playboy, and I got that from him, and I'm getting the more serious person here. I'm just confounded by how well you play your part. And that's all the time we have, and when we come back, it'll be Amory from the sequel, not the prequel, to This Side of Paradise, which is due out this winter. Thank you, Jimmy. I hope you find success wherever you go, and we'll be back.
This is Say It with Simon Finkelstein, but he just contracted AIDS. So now I'm Fink Simonstein, and this is my Hour of Power. We have here the star of the new movie, This Side of Paradise, coming out this winter. We have here Phoenix. So, Phoenix.
How you doing, Fink?
How are you? In your new movie coming out, you play the character Amory. Well, in this book, he loses everything in his life. He goes from having so much to so little. Could you please elaborate on this?
He's just a guy that thinks he's the best. I mean, I can level with him. I mean, I know that feeling. I mean, I am the best. But you know, it takes him, he can't handle reality because he thinks he's above reality, which is something you need to not be into, like myself. So, when he finds out that life totally breaks him down, he loses everything he has a hold on. He's not above what he has a hold on, which he finds out when he loses it. Just like in Gatsby, where Gatsby loses everything.
So in the corresponding book, The Great Gatsby, the main character, Jay Gatsby, loses a lot in his life as well. Could you please relate this to Amory's?
Yeah, Gatsby's a little bit different. I mean, he loses everything, even his life. I mean, he's built his whole reality, his whole life around this getting Daisy. Like, he wants to impress everybody. He's got this straight shot goal. Whereas Amory is a more of, I don't need to try because I'm the best and it'll just come to me. While Gatsby is at least a hard worker. Like, I've actually talked to my good friend Timmy Biggins. He and I go way back. We actually roomed together in college. But he and I have talked about this and how we're going to connect. And we both thought that we need to kind of seem like a little bit, like we don't notice it. Like we act like we're not the best or we don't want this. It's like nonchalant. But when actually everything is crashing around us. And it takes till the very end. I mean, in the Gatsby thing, it's the last chapter, you know. He's in his pool and he's like, hell, just ruined everything. And the same way with Amory, he's already lost everything and there's no turning back for either of them. So that's how I see how this connection is made.
Thank you. And also, in both novels, there are numerous religious symbols flying about. In The Great Gatsby, there is Dr. T.J. Eckelberg, who has a big billboard on the highway on the way to West Egg, and his eyes are often depicted as being the eyes of God. And then again, in This Side of Paradise, Monsieur Darcy is a very, very religious man, and he's in the clergy. Could you please explain the connection between the religious symbols?
Fitzgerald, I see, he was kind of a, I mean, we know he was an alcoholic, but, I mean, we saw him earlier. Look at that guy.
Indeed.
It's nasty. But I think he kind of liked to laugh at religion a little bit, which is why the Eckelberg sign is just kind of it's not real. It's intangible. I mean, it's just a big old sign with eyes on it, which I feel is like his thing about God's watching but just doesn't care. I feel that's the way in Gatsby, he just lets it run through. And in the new one, This Side of Paradise, Monsignor is like he's behind the scenes. I mean, he tries to raise him, but he never really gets through. His point doesn't totally get across until he's gone, and...
Thank you. And that's going to be all for tonight with Mr. Phoenix playing the role of Amory in this new film, which I must say, you have to see. It is perfect.
And give Simon my best regards. I hope he...
Oh, we will. We will. Please, everybody, pray for him. He's in dire need.